Thank you, Zach. Well, school is winding down. Summer is right around the corner, but your sleep doesn't have to get a failing grade during the summer season. The experts say some easy tips will help you create an A-plus summer sleep balance. Here to tell us more is Dr. Funke Afolabi-Brown, a triple board certified sleep medicine physician and a best-selling author. She knows her sleep. Dr. Brown, good morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. So tell me, what tends to happen during the summer season? How bad can things get if we're not careful?
Well, really what happens is that, the schedules get very light. School's out, everybody's out, it's light outside. And so as a result of that, sleep just kind of starts to slip. We start to see more people going to bed later and definitely waking up later. And this tends to disrupt a lot of children and actually adults function over the course of the day.
Yeah, and why does it matter? What do you say to the parents who say, it's summer, who cares? Let's stay up late, it's summertime.
Yeah, the thing about it is there's something we call the circadian rhythm, which is our internal clock that regulates our our wake cycles and our sleep cycles. And so when you get a shift because you're going to bed later, that tends to delay the circadian rhythm, and it impacts our function, it impacts our mood, it causes a lot of kids to tend to be more hyperactive, irritable, impulsive, and many times people don't nail it down to sleep being the culprit.
Okay, yeah. And let's give some tips. How can we balance, especially during the summer, flexibility and some structure?
Exactly. I think that's what you have to understand. Now, the goal, I would say, is trying to set a consistent wake-up time. Most times, the bedtimes may be a little bit challenging because it's light out. But if you can set a consistent wake-up time and then really making sure that you're active during the day, you're exposed to as much light as possible, especially in the morning. For kids, limiting the caffeine and things like that will help them to go to bed easier and then stay asleep and fall asleep easy and then wake up, much better.
Yeah. And what about things like, travel or parties or, the inevitable summer extras that might mess up our schedules?
And I would say the key is flexibility.
Right,
you know that we're going to have disruptions, and they're pleasant disruptions. But if you set yourself up for success, for instance, for travel, maybe especially if you're traveling across multiple time zones, bring in familiar objects with you. So if you use a sound machine, if you use a sleep mask to make sure that the environment is as optimized as possible. And then especially if you're going across multiple time zones, jumping in to the meal times, seeking light at the right time is definitely things that would help you with better sleep.
Okay. How about kids going to summer camp? Any tips for them?
Actually, summer camp is one of the good parts of summer, I would say, in terms of the schedule.
Yeah, they probably get them up and moving, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you're less likely to sleep in till noon if you have to get to summer camp at 9 a.m. So that's actually really good. Plus, you're physically active, you're playing around with friends, and you're outdoors. And all those things can actually promote really good sleep.
Okay. And what about tips for parents with teens? Does that go back to, don't sleep all day, get them up and moving again?
Absolutely. And understanding that the biology of teenagers is naturally delayed, and most times you will find out that your teenager is now going to bed at past midnight, 2 a.m. and they want to sleep till noon. Here's the thing: when they start to get ready for school, when school comes, because school will always come, it tends to get very difficult in that kind of situation. So yes, try to keep that structure as best as possible.
Yes, and that's what I was going to ask you next. Once school does roll around, do we need to relook at what we're doing and kind of shift things up a little bit and get a little more strict toward the end of the summer?
I absolutely would say so. I would say at least 2 weeks before school starts, start to have those conversations. And for many people, there's already a shift in their sleep schedule. You want to start to make them go to bed and to wake up a little bit earlier, maybe 15 to 20 minutes every couple of days, so that when school comes around, it's not a fight.
Okay, great. And where can people go for more information? Where can they find your book and any tips you might have?
Absolutely. So we are on social media at Restful Sleep MD. Also, our website, the restfulsleepmd.com, has tons of tools and information around sleep. And then my book, Beyond Tired, is available on Amazon and where books are sold. All
right. Well, I'm going to take a nap today in your honor. So thank you so much. Sounds amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Great tips. And we will be right back after this. Stay with us.